Buongiorno a tutti quanti dall'Urban Center di Trieste. Good morning to everybody from Urban Center of Trieste. Today we have Nova Gorica and the Gorizian European Capital of Culture 2025. Antonella Varesano will be our host that will introduce our guest. Thank you, everybody, and Antonella Varesano, thank you again.
Welcome, everyone, to the people in attendance and to those who follow us online. My name is Antonella Varesano. I represent the Polo Tecnologico Alto Adriatico, which is a body dedicated to technology transfer and business development. I apologize, but because of the COVID, I cannot participate in person in this event, which I cared so much about. I'm not there, but I would like to tell you that the event takes place in the space of the Urban Center, a space realized by the municipality of Trieste, dedicated to innovation and digital transformation. Today, we will talk about an important presentation that speaks of the future of Gorizia, Nova Gorizia 2025. It is a great pleasure it is with a great pleasure that I introduce my four guests. Two guests are in presence: Romina Cocina, the director of the EGTC Gorizia, also partner of the Urban Center, and Goran Bozic, the director of the Javni Zavod Go 2025 Nova Gorizia. Then I have two other guests online: Giovanni Oliva, the General Secretary of the Matera Foundation, Matera European Capital of Culture 2019, and Ivan Sarar, the head of the Department of Culture in Rijeka City Hall. Before passing the floor to the two directors of the European Capital of Culture 2025, I would like to remind you two technical information. The event will be recorded and you will be able to see it on the Urban Center YouTube channel. And at the end of this talk, there will be a short question and answer session moderated by me. I leave the floor now with great pleasure to the two directors who will manage the event, and thank you for your time. Thanks a lot. Romina, the floor is yours, and Goras, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Antonella, for the floor, actually, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about the European Capital of Culture, Nova Gorica-Gorizia, also in Trieste. So it's first time that we are talking about this big project outside our common border space where we normally speak and manage the things. So let me just quickly introduce the agenda of today. Yes. So we will start with the short video introduction. Then me and Goras, then me, we will say a few words about our institutions. And then we will take the opportunity of having our guests from Matera and Rijeka that will also share with us their experience in managing the European Capital of Culture. First, we will hear about Matera, and following, we will close with the experience of Rijeka. Then, as you said, we will have a short question and answer session if there will be questions or answers to give. And we plan to conclude in time, maximum at 1 o'clock. So let's start with the video, first of all.
So, hello also in my name. As you have seen in this short presentation video we have made during the candidacy time, our land or our conurbation of the two Goricas, so Nova Gorica and Gorizia, was rudely divided with this fence, which we were not used to anymore. Since 2004, so until so when Nova Gorica and Slovenia entered the European Union, and the border which in that time divided that square, which is now our epicenter also for the European Capital of Culture of the two cities, was shredded. So in this COVID times, we experienced again the border, again the fence, again the division of people who in this 16 years get used to not knowing where the border is, so living their lives borderless. And this is also our strong point of our United European Capital of Culture, which usually goes to one nation or two nations in 1 year, but in the 2025 was awarded to Slovenia, and Nova Gorica was the receiver of this title, with Gorizia as our let's say spouse in the process, because this is our strong point, and we want to show all Europe and also the world how important it is to live without borders and doing most things that you do in common life, but also in culture, in mobility, in economy together without restrictions. Those are a lot of bureaucratic things to, let's say, solve or to ease in the process, and we are now going through this process. I will now present you some divisions, or who does what in this process of the ECOC 2025, because usually you have one delivery structure who does the project of the European Capital of Culture. In our case, we have two, because we have Slovenia and also Italy. And on the Slovenian side, our Javni Zavod Go 2025 was formed to deliver the program and also some other things in the process of the project, but in a strict collaboration with the JECT Go, who will then proceed in some aspects after the 2025, because our Zavod will be closed at the end of 2026, and a lot of things that will be done for the European Capital of Culture will be managed afterwards through JECT. So I will explain you what are our goals and what are our missions. So the mission of Go 2025, our public institute, or Javni Zavod, how we say it in Slovenian, is to plan, to implement and evaluate the ECOC project, the ECOC 2025 project, through the implementation of the activities that were written in the bid book, and to ensure the achievements of them in long-term development effects. All those achievements or activities are defined already in the bid book, which was the bidding book that got us the title. The first and the most important thing of our public entity Go 2025 is to integrate cultural and artistic activities into the European global dimensions through establishing partnerships among all Europe. So this is why also we are here today. We are not talking just about partnerships between Slovenian entities and Gorizians in Italian entities, but also the whole Friuli Venezia Giulia and other European countries who are in this European Union. Of course, since it's Slovenian capital of culture, we need to present the process and all the benefits of the ECOC 2025 project to the Slovenian and international public. Then, to encourage cross-sectoral cooperations between culture and economy and science education, you have on this slide one of the projects that were made already in the candidature when two breweries, so one from Nova Gorica and one from Gorizia, joined to make a borderless beer. So here is an example of a product that can be made through this collaboration, borderless collaboration. And of course, to promote the role of culture as a catalyst for wider social development. Here in this picture, you can see one of our open calls that was made in the last phase of the candidature. When we called the artists of all Europe to join and to make some urban interventions on some degraded public walls around Nova Gorica. Now I will pass the word to Romina so that she can explain what the EGTC Go roles is.
Just a few words about EGTC, European Group of Territorial Cooperation based in Gorizia. It's an Italian body which has been funded already in 2011 under European Regulation 1082. And it's funded by 3 municipalities, border municipalities. One is Gorizia in Italy and Nova Gorica, Šempeter-Vrtojba in Slovenia. So this makes, in a way, our EGTC Go really unique in its typology, because it's border and it's funded because of a strong willingness of 3 municipalities that together shared a common development strategy for the cross-border area. And this is very important also in this process we are organizing now for the European Capital of Culture, because it also explained the sense of having the EGTC Go as partner of Javni Zavod for the whole process from now till 2025 and later on also. In this year, EGTC Go developed different European projects. The most important to be mentioned are the ITI project, Integrated Territorial Investments, funded under the Interreg Italy-Slovenia program. And thanks to this experience, also the EGTC grew up in its competencies, now at disposal, of course, of the territory. Now I pass again the floor to Goras to say some few words about our cross-border area.
Yeah, as you see, the project of Go 2025 includes the whole border territory or borderless territory, because it goes, it does the same path as the Soča or Izonco river does. So from Bovec to Grado, This is the territory in which which is included in the project of Go 2025 Nova Gorica-Gorizia. As I said before, each year you have two capitals of culture in Europe. In 2025, it's Slovenia, which chose to be, in which Nova Gorica chose to have the first cross-border European capital of culture. So it's the first time in the history to have this. And in Germany, it's Chemnitz, the city of Chemnitz, who is the German European capital of culture. Why is this important? Because all those who want to participate also and in some economic or cultural or whatever kind of cooperations have the ease of doing that with in this year with Germany. So between Slovenia and Germany, and since Italy is also included, there are some more possibilities to collaborate. Now we will show you again a short video which presents the borderless. Why are we borderless? And this is the presentation video of our logo and slogan, which was then chosen, officialized, and will be now used through this whole process until 2026. So our first goal is to achieve what is written in this bid book we presented at the Ministry of Culture of Slovenia, and it was now revisionized so that we could see exactly where are we financially, spatially, and on timelines for each project that is involved in this bid book. So that we can now proceed with the making of the projects that were decided to be made. The bid book includes the four basic program pillars. The first one is Epicenter, which talks about this common urban area, which is now degraded and will be redeveloped on the starting point of this square, the Trg Europea, the Europe Square, or the Piazza Transalpina. How is it called in Italy? So renewing all the territory around that. We are talking about the square you saw before in the video where the border was put again. Then the bid book consists of the cultural and the artistic program. It also consists, it has the strategies for a long-term impact of the eco project. So it's not just making events and making everything look great and doing some exceptional artistical stuff, but also writing down strategies that will develop that common territory together, and not as it was done, let's say, until now, divided. The bid book includes all the public and civil society, and this is something that we are really taken care of so that no one will be excluded in the project. So it's not just a project for artists and culture, but also for mobility, also for social strategies and impacts, also for economy, because as we will see later, we need a lot of partners, and we want to promote them through. We want also them to be promoted through this process of the European Capital of Culture and its net. Of course, our main role is to get the finances, not just those who were provided to us via the Ministry of Culture, via the municipalities, and via the FFG region, but also sponsorships or partnerships, also European funds for projects that mostly are green and shared, so combined with both nations. Here later, Romina will present also the Interreg program of small project funds, which is already one of those kind of funding possibilities for new projects, not just those from the bid book. And of course, we need to manage, we as Go 2025 need to manage the whole process and all the 70 projects that are included in the bid book through finding cross-sectoral links, not just in the Slovenian and Italian way, but also in an international way. It seems a little bit complicated because usually, as I said before, you have one managing structure. We now have three for develop all the project aspects. Of course, the first one are both municipalities, Nova Gorica as the leading partner and Gorizia as the accompanying partner, who work on the infrastructural projects and the implementation of the project of the ECOC on the spot, so in the visible, so on the areas who will be renewed, on the buildings who will be renewed, and all that will be done or is already in the process of doing with the Slovenian ministries and in the Italian side with the FFG region. Then we have the JECT Go, which is in charge of the implementation and coordination of these cross-border activities of the ECOC projects, mostly in terms of infrastructure for that pillar of epicenter, but also on some content, let's say, as a unified web platform where all the projects, events, touristic data, accommodation possibilities, and so on will be presented in one place, not like it's now that is one for Slovenian, one for Italian place of site. This will be also managed by JECT. Our role, so of the Zavod Go 2025, is, as I explained before, the coordination and implementation of the cultural programs, or everything which is based for the program, and all the partnerships focused on that are on our responsibility. We will look for 4 segments for partners, and we are now starting to do that because we want to have exclusive partnerships for each kind of segment that we need to sign the contracts for delivering the project as it is meant. So firstly, there are the IT industries, the creative industries like design, architecture, film, fashion, media, the official car brand, and of course the event management. These are all possibilities that we need to find partnerships, strong partnerships, because we don't want to have a lot of them, but mostly 1 or maybe 2, but those one really who will accept our Go 2025 as a brand, also to promote themselves. For the transport, we will look for partnerships with airports, ports, railways, because it's Slovenian and Italian, motorways, car trains, cycle routes, which are now being raised up in a transfrontaliero or cross-border way through JECT, and of course the public transport between the two cities. For the accommodations, we need hotels, agritourism, private housing, bed and breakfasts, campsites, caravan parks, hostels. These are all possibilities to which are now not really well developed, or those who are on a great level, but we need more of them since we are expecting a lot of touristic influence who will be there in the 2025. Just to mention, I saw yesterday a small article in which it was written that already now, so 3 years before the European Capital of Culture, the amount of tourists in Gorizia was raised 13% in comparison to 2019. So already now we have a 13% of raise of the tourists. So we can expect a lot of that, even more of that in 2025, and we need to be prepared to receive all of them. Then we have the gastronomy, which is our punto forte, as I can say, strong point. So restaurant, osmice, which are typical for this cross-border region, bars and cafeteria, street food, wine cellars, wine shops. In this picture, you can see those breweries I was talking to you before, which made the cross-border beer, which made also a cross-border beer point in that Europe Square, and did some events when beer was, you could get beer from Italy and from Slovenia and staying in Slovenia and Italy. So it's the same at our place. And of course, the promotion of individual services and products like tourist destinations between Venice and Ljubljana, the local agri-food products, the wine, which we have, I think, some of the best ones in the world, local souvenirs, ECOC 2025 souvenirs, publishing and limited editions of artworks. These are all possibilities which can be used, or we are keen to start some conversations to receive these international cooperations partners, so that we can manage all to do all the stuff we said we will do.
And in addition to the segments presented by Goras, another opportunity that will be put in place very soon and will be managed directly by the EGTC-GO is also a concrete opportunity for funding of small projects. This opportunity is a small project fund, as it is called, within the Interreg Italy-Slovenia program. It's a fund that will be directly managed by the EGTC-GO and is included in the program. This means that the task force and the managing authority of the Italy-Slovenia program during the programming phase for 21-27 period decided to support the European Capital of Culture in 2025, and how. The decision was to dedicate a part of the whole program budget specifically to projects to be developed towards the European Capital of Culture. So the whole program budget is about 88 million. Of course, only a small part of this budget, which is around 10% of the whole program budget, is dedicated to the small project fund. And within this budget, which is included in the PO46 of the program, the EGTC-GO will launch public calls for the territory. So in short, EGTC will finance directly project as the EGTC will be, let's say, the managing authority of this fund. Project has to be focused and directly linked to the bid book of the European Capital of Culture. What we want to finance are not events, or at least not only events, cultural events, but we want to give the opportunity to develop the whole ecosystem around the European Capital of Culture. So not just to focus on the cultural event in Gorizia, but also some ideas could be to develop touristic paths or small infrastructures that can be useful for events or IT ideas that can link museums or a place to another. I mean, opportunities are to be seen in a very larger way. We are now planning the first call. We hope to be ready to launch and open the first call within this fund by the end of this year. Also because what we would like is to have projects ready in 2025. So the range of projects to be financed will be from 30 to 2,000 euro. It's 200,000, of course, euros. So it's small projects, but for a small area as Gorizia, Nova Gorizia is, I think that with this budget, a lot of things can be done in addition to the already planned project of the bid book. And we will adopt a simplified cost options for the reporting, which is also something new for the program. And also for our territory, because our target are small organization, small enterprises, small association. We know how management and bureaucratic administrative burdens can sometimes be very restricted when applying projects. So simplified cost options should easier the work of all these possible partners. And that's all as first kind of information from our side towards the opportunities that the European Capital of Culture can offer to the territory. And as we said, it's not an opportunity only for Gorizia and Nova Gorizia, it's an opportunity for the whole area around these two cities. That's why also we are today in Trieste, and we will be also in other cities in the next months, years, towards the 2025. So now, Goras, if you don't have other things to be added, we can proceed with the next speaker we have invited, which will be Giovanni Oliva from Matera.
Hello.
Hello, Giovanni. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the floor. Thank you to Antonella Varesano. And thank you to you, to Romina, to Goraz. And just only to say, first of all, that congratulations for what you are doing. I know it's not simple, but all the image, all the video, all the slides are very clear and show what you are doing. And believe me, it's not simple. So really, congratulations for this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your point of view. Thank you.
Second, I am General Secretary, like Antonella told at the beginning of this meeting. Thank you for inviting me. I am General Secretary since 2018, but I am also managing in administration too, and for more than 2 years, General Director. So 5 years of experience. Probably I will finish my experience in 2022 at the end of the year, but I can tell you that it was a very incredible and amazing work, not simple. We have to make people happy, but at the same time, you have to work hard, strongly, with a full of problem and a full of situation to solve. So I listen, both of you, I listen Goraz to say bureaucratic process. Yes, this is the first thing that I can say. And I think that you are in a good way, but please let me tell you, you must to work for a strong administration department in Nova Gorica and in Gorizia. You will have, of course, a lot of problem, but you have a strong administration department. You can have a different approach with this kind, with all the problem that you will receive. The second is, I tell you that again, congratulations, you are working very well, because you are telling we are open to all the area. This is very important, because all the city around you will look you and say, you are lucky, you are having the money, you are not good. So the best way is to ask all the area to work together with you. And also another important thing is that you are two, not one. But as I told you, Romina, and as I told you, Goraz, this is an historical opportunity. You are the first one in this situation. So where there is a problem, there is also a big opportunity. So my best energy for all of you for this adventure. Before to show you slides, I no more than 7 minutes. Okay, so before to show you slides and video, I want to tell you, please be transparent in money and in the administration, because at the end of this incredible experience, all the situation will go strictly on money. And people, journalists, politicians, and all the situation will ask you, what did you do? And what is the result? So at the end, Romina and Goraz, like me, you will be alone. So you have to prepare yourself to that moment. Okay, now it's a very complex for me, but I think that there is Marco that will support me. I will to share you some slides, okay? Okay. I don't know if I will be able again, but I think, and I hope yes. The first one, I will show you a video. Why a video? Because sometimes you have to do something very special for people. And we did a lot of events, and one of the best was the circus. What is the circus? The idea was to show to the people that they can do something also in a difficult time during the winter. So to do a circus in summer for baby with the animals, And something like this is very simple, but it's not our goal. Our goal is to create a new different kind of citizen through the culture. So we organize into 019 a circus in the winter, of course with no animals, but with very strange and different kinds of artists. So for more than around 2 months, we ask people coming from all the countries of Europe to stay in Matera and to show us something different. It was a risk, a big risk, because when people don't understand, people say, what are you doing? Why you are spending money for something that we don't understand? But if you don't take the risk, you don't take the success. So I don't know if you see, you listen?
Yes.
Okay.
Ci ha fatto sognare.
Una parola entusiasmante, bello, particolare.
Spettacolare.
Devo dire spettacolo fantastico, bellissimo.
Alla prossima.
Okay, it was the circus. As I told you, it was a very incredible experience because we did it in the winter and in a very strange place, not usual for a circus. But people, more than 10,000 of citizens arrived at that time. Now I will show you another video for 4 minutes, and then I will tell and stop. Believe me, I don't tell you much more than this. Okay. The second video is another important event. I tell you in advance, very expensive in money, okay, but this event give us a lot of results. Also next to 019, because many national television in Germany, in Luxembourg, in France, and in Italy sent this event in their cultural channel. So many people in Europe decided to come in Matera after visiting, after looking these experiments. What is this experiments? The first idea of Matera 2019 was to co-create with the citizen. We ask the people not to simply to look something, but to be in the situation, and not also to be, but co-create too. What it means that in this case we asked to San Carlo, the theater of Napoli, to come in our city and to show an opera, Cavalleria Rusticana, okay. But before to see Cavalleria Rusticana, to ask to involve the citizen. So more than 400 people coming from all the region lived in this opera. And we asked to Teatro San Carlo to show this opera together with the people. I know that it's a little bit difficult to explain, but when you will see the video, you will understand everything. Another important thing is that we ask them, don't show only the opera Cavalleria Rusticana, but to work, to support people, to think about all our important problems. We told to call this Abitare l'Opera and Sette vizi capitalistici, 7 capitalist problem. So I will show you Abitare l'Opera, so probably it will be more simple to understand than listen me.
You didn't share your screen yet? Giovanni? Sì. Giovanni?
Sì?
Can you listen to me? The video is
Scusami.
not playing. Video is not playing. Non ha condiviso lo schermo ancora.
Ok, ricomincio allora. Evidentemente pensavo, vediamo se va ora. Grazie per avermi avvisato. Share sound. Ok, dovrebbe andare ora. È andato? Non va?
Ancora, no, non vedo. Sì, adesso è stato lì. Sì, perfetto.
Ok, grazie, scusa. So this is an example of what we did. The project was named Abitare l'Opera, Live in the Opera. We asked the people to stay together with all, no? And it was a big success. And I say another important thing, that today many television continued to send this project, and people continue to think I must go there to visit that place. So I am finished my speech. The last to Romina and Goraz, be together, please. And the second, save money, because 2026 is not the end of the capital of culture. We are finished the 2022, and people continues to asking us to work and to do something, because what is possible to do during the European Capital of Culture is unbelievable. So save money for your colleagues for 2027, 2028, and for the project. And have a good luck. I think that you are really, I'm telling you what I think really, you know, you are really in the right way, in the good way to do a very good and marvelous work. Have a good work, have a good life.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Yes, thank you, Giovanni. You are always of great inspiration for us. And we will take really in great consideration all the things you explained, and you are always telling us, and we will also keep in touch, because the experience of Matera is really our base for planning and programming also the next. And we are aware that European Capital of Culture is not 2025 only, but it's what is coming after that. So this is your message is really in our mind. So thank you very much, and thank you again. And now we can move to the next and last special guest, Ivan Sharar. I see him on the screen. And so Ivan, the floor is yours. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I hope you have good sound from Fiume, from Rijeka. Right now, I'll try to share my screen with you. Just a second. Just a moment. Share. Can you see it? Okay.
Yes.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to this today's show. I think we have, unique opportunity because of Matera pre-pandemic experience, Rijeka full-time pandemic experience, and Gorica and Nova Gorica post-COVID experience. I think we are all capitals of culture, but in totally different occasions. And I think our common knowledge is the biggest possible. I think we share a lot of heritage and historical and a lot of other aspects of common topics. Rijeka and Trieste and Gorica and Nova Gorica are 1.5 hour driving distance. We share the same Austro-Hungarian and Italian history. We are sharing the Adriatic culture. I think even Matera is part of the same story, maybe not from this micro-geographic perspective, but I think from Scandinavia or Britain, or I think Lithuania, we are the same part of the world, and it's good to use it in Gorica and Nova Gorica ECOC, that unique possibility to have very friendly former ECOCs as partners. For today presentation, I've been asked to compare digitalization versus cultural programs. In Rijeka ECOC case, we was unfortunately forced to change normal cultural programs to some hybrid or for full digital programs, but I think we learned a lot. I hope Gorica's wouldn't be in a situation that they have to cope with pandemia, but I think there are a lot of new intermedia or multimedia or digital knowledge we gathered through ECOC, and I'll show you some, first of all, some of good examples with some links. This presentation will be possible to download, I hope, with organizers, and every single slide can open links to these examples. Well, we survived ECOC, as I told to my friend in Nova Gorica, with big exhibitions, because exhibitions are simple for handle during the COVID, opposite to big performing art show. But with COVID, we tried to open new possibilities with it's too noisy, but we used a lot of common big media mainstream platforms as a SoundCloud to connect visual experience with digital world. That's the big exhibition about famous Professor Balthazar. We tried to organize already from BitBook residence programs in online world. It was really complicated, but we tried hard. For the first time, all of our exhibition spaces, we have 4 museums and a lot of galleries in Rijeka, they filmed and they shoot videos and shared with YouTube, with Vimeo, with all possible platforms to share experience for, of course, empty pandemic empty exhibition spaces. Some of projects which were mentioned as typical normal gallery exhibitions or expos, we totally translate to digital world, as this one dedicated to borders, because Rijeka and not similar but very very interesting way had border between 2 world wars, between Italia and Kingdom of Yugoslavia, and we translate one normal classical museum exhibition to interactive website with a lot of context we have, I think so, even in English, yes, English, with a lot of online content, which is good example how one already curated, finished with all the materials ready to put in gallery can be translated to online website or online gallery or anything you want to call it. We have a lot of translations of books to video content. Interesting things, maybe the most creative was productions of our big national theater, because it's not that. It's definitely not our video. Just a moment. Just a moment. And it's good. We used musicians or ballet artists from National Theatre to promote our constructing sites. Our in our eco-qui planned for big investment. We used performers to promote construction sites or a future part of cities which will be reconstructed. At the same time, our ballet artists go in some new directions like this promotional video for show they planned after COVID. But just a moment, there is one great example of, just a moment. I think that's here. Yes, that's it. That singing in construction site is really cool, or playing in future kids library. And that way we promote our future infrastructure. We made musicians in lockdown to play, and somehow we try to integrate the best of both worlds, that classical, old school, cultural world, and digital and new infrastructures. We have great tries from all of our production partners. For example, the Puppet Theater created a special, without digitalization, but they try to improve surviving in physical world. They create puppet theater shows, and they played in front of big houses for kids to watch them from the balconies and from the windows, or they create totally new shows and put them in the windows of shopping centers to watch from the outside when lockdown was in better phase. At the same time, we create some high-tech projects. Our Croatian Cultural Center became the European Center for Virtual Reality Performing Arts Production, which is interesting, which very complicated in aspects of technology, but is a real intersection of digital and physical world. And I hope that we can finance it in next perspective, because it's really expensive and really interesting, because this experience are not trying to promote classical art in digital world. It's totally new form of art, performing art created only for virtual reality. We translate during ECOC all our educational programs on YouTube or Vimeo in deal with big production houses. We have public institution art cinema, which translate our physical space schools to Zoom, to Vimeo, to Teams platforms, and they create one great show, which is not digital, but it's interesting. We have summer cinema, not in typical situation, but drive-in cinema with sound distribute to radio station frequency. That means that people listen to sound of movie in their cars. Well, you can see we invented a lot of totally new methods how to distribute artistical content, but at the same time we open new problem. You can see that typical screenshots from Zoom. We become aware that we in that fighting for eco and fighting for culture increased screen time of our citizens and our kids, and I think that's the most problematical thing in digitalization. I think our especially younger citizens are overloaded with digital content. They have for 2 years school in digital form, in Teams or Zoom, and now we are trying to save ECOC or to save distribution of cultural content with even more screen time, and I think that's the most problematical part of this digital versus classical cultural program. This example is much more interesting for me. We decided to put all small-scale book promotions in summertime in totally awkward places, as this slide said, and beaches, on parkings in places that there are not a lot of people because of pandemic experience. Because of that problem, as I said, if we are go to screens and even more screens, I think we are going in that wrong mainstream flow with big technological companies, because already all digital natives aren't go to museums or cinemas or theaters. They are living their lives with Spotify, Deezer, Netflix, and all these competitors of classical culture. Of course, we learned a lot because of that pandemic experience, but from my perspective, the best way is to use digital tools to promote your heritage or your cultural program. You are already good or the best in this program, because it isn't possible to compete with big media companies, with pure digital creative economy, because from the first place it's not possible because of budgets and because of reach, and in the second place it isn't possible because the role of public institutions is not to compete with Spotify or I don't know Google. And if I can one advice to Gorica, that is to combine digital with their powerful parts of heritage and ensembles or institutions that are already well established. To create only digital channel of new produced art isn't possible if you are not so good to be globally important or important in some special niche. But as I said, too many digital and too many screen time is not definitely good solution for cultural project. At the end, I just only show a few slides why I think we survived COVID. I don't think we survived because our creativity with that digital guerrilla surviving. I think we survived, and that's the best legacy of our project, because of new infrastructure. We transformed that big former industrial quarter with 17,000 square meters of old warehouses. That was sugar refinery and tobacco factory during the 19th century and engine factory during communist Yugoslavia. On this picture, all these 4 buildings are still abandoned. We recreate whole this quarter to new cultural quarter. You can see some shoots on reconstruction. This is the new public library, where it looked like Stalingrad in 1943, not like new library, but now it's already finished. We opened new Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art in this building. We create totally new historical museum in this old industrial palace. That museum is dedicated to city history in last 300 years. We opened that special kids cultural educational center. All these kids from that Zoom presentations now are living in this house, which is dedicated to a lot of workshops, because idea of this house is hand-on approach with 3D printing, maker lab, video art, dedicated not to kids as consumers, but kids as producers. And at the end, we are trying still to finish our most complicated reconstruction project, this ship that connecting Italia and Croatia, this former Marshal Tito yacht, which was constructed in Genoa 2 years before World War II as banana ship. After that, that boat was famous ship, boat of peace, which was part of non-aligned movements. This is a fantastic Fiat engines, which is still from the very first day in this boat and still can work now. And I think I was a little bit too long. Thank you for attention. I hope I'll see you. Matera, Trieste, Nova Gorica, Fiume, doesn't matter. Thanks.
Thank you, Ivan, for this recap of all what happened and how you solved it or tried to solve it in this pandemic, not really a likely situation for the European Capital of Culture. So now we have the questions and answers section, if we have some, if I understood correctly, no?
Of course, I have a question. Shall I start with my question?
Yes, of course.
And first of all, I want to send my great congratulations for all the speakers to the great project of Matera, which I followed since the beginning. And for me, it's a fantastic place and a great project. And also, I would like to thank you, the Fiume speaker, not only for the reflection about the digital opportunities, but even because, if I'm not wrong, he's like me, he's a philosopher. Is it true?
I don't know. I'm studied psychology, and I like to have some kind of a wider perspective of.
I suppose that you're a philosopher like me. So you are a psychologist.
Yes, I'm a psychologist.
Okay, sorry, but I suppose that
philosopher.
There's a great opportunity in between us, because I did a lot of reflection about the visual experience via screen. And I think that this reflection have to be done more in deep. And thank you for these opportunities. I really appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
So I am in a space that represents the innovation, and every time I have to ask this question to all my guests. And first of all, I would like to ask to Gorizia Nova Gorica 2025, what are the activities planned that are most involved in digital innovation and also in social innovation, because in some slides I found the word social innovation, and I teach a new method which is called social digital innovation. And I would like to know if Gorizia, Nova Gorica 2025, there are any of these kind of activities already planned?
Of course. I don't know them really in the let's say in details, but if you go to our website and check the program in the bitbook which is written, we have some projects like the X-Mobile, the Pixel Point, X Center, and so on, which are all linked towards the creative industries, to how to implement the technology, digitalization, and all this kind of stuff into the social world. So not making just some art, but also rethinking the way we live, rethinking the way we do stuff, and rethinking the way we connect through the use of virtual technology, let's say, or doing stuff digitally and not in person. One of our strong points, which was also let's say approved or not thanked, but well, I don't find the word now, from the European Commission on the last monitoring, was the making of the X Center, which is a technological hub for creativity in technology, science, and education, which is something similar to this place. We are today here. So we will for sure collaborate also in the program way with the Fab Lab, as I learned it today here. Yeah, for details, I suggest you check our program part of the bitbook, and you will see all these kind of digital projects that are held. As for the social part, social innovation, it's a really strong word, and it seems like something difficult or something, I don't know, out of the box. But in our case, so in Nova Gorica or Goricia's case, it's quite simple, because we have two diverse countries. We have 4 diverse cultures in the same place, let's say, because we have Slovenians, Italians, Furlani, and also some Germans or Austrians from the Austro-Hungarian times. One of the social innovation is how to disassemble barriers between us, and how to communicate normally by speaking each other's languages, which seems very easy, but at the end you find it difficult, and you need to speak to understand the other person who is working with you in the most simpler way, so that you can live, work, and do stuff. Of course, we can all speak in English as we do now, but that's not the point, you know. You cannot express yourself so well as you do in your native language as you do it in English. So the bilinguismo passivo, so passive bilingualism, is one of our goals we try to achieve, so that I, as a Slovenian, speak in Slovenian way, and the other, my counterpart in Italy, speaks in Italian, and we understand each other. So that's one of the social innovations you were asking about.
I always say the same during all my lesson. In my perfect world, all the people can speak their own languages, but I think it's a great dream. Thank you. And also, I would like to say that I love the concept and also the meaning of borderless. So I suppose that borderless will be the leitmotif of Gorica, Nova Gorica 2025, which is a great concept. Thank you very much.
It's not that just will be, but it is, yeah. Because, you know, also trying to involve, let's say, Slovenian artists and producers and cultural workers and all other stuff, all other kind of workers to work in Italy and do their project there, and vice versa. It's something that also seems really normal, but it's still not. So through the process of of the ECOC, we want to achieve also that. So we don't need everything duplicated, but we need to collaborate so that we spend more on programs and less on infrastructure, which then needs also money to be managed. No?
Yes, we want to spend less in administrative and bureaucracy. That it's the real burden we have in cooperating in a border area. That's why also the slogan is borderless, considered in a very wide sense, not only just crossing the street from a side another with no control, but also having the possibility to do the things together with no burdens. And this is the big and difficult goal that at the end we would like in a way to reach, to reduce the bureaucracy.
Great.
This is something that we know, everybody know exactly what we are talking about when we do projects, and we try to do something new, innovative, and so on. Yes.
Great. I see that Ivan shake the head.
I think that Ivan wanted to say something. I saw.
Just only short comment, joke to Antonella idea that the world that everyone can speak native languages, ideal world. That's the world of European Parliament. I don't think that European Parliament is ideal world to anyone.
But they don't understand the other languages. Oh, there are any other questions? And Claudia, do you have questions from the people that attend online?
You can see questions online if they are, but let me check here. No questions, no.
Okay, so we are ready to finish. Okay, I thank you all my guests, of course. And I wish a very great success to Gorizia, Nova Gorizia 2025. I thank you for your time.
Grazie.
Thank you again.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Oh.
Bye.
Grazie.
Thank you all, and see you
presto.
in this cross-border adventure. I hope all of you.
Grazie.
We will be there, of course. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.